Honey, no. How hard are your horses to catch when they're in the pasture? These guys have just been turned out. They do not want to be caught because they just got free for the morning. They're going to want to play. But one of the things that I like to do is teach them, if you want to run, you can run. But you can run on my terms. And if you don't want to run, then just hold still. Let me catch you. Right? Right? That's a caught horse. If you're willing to make them run when they want to run away, pretty soon they don't want to run away. Not worth it. All right. Today is the day. It's warmed up as warm as it's going to get today, which is about 28 degrees. We had about 6 inches of snow on the ground yesterday. It's melted down to about maybe 2 or 3. So we're going to see if Lambo's in the mood for his first ride. What do you say, buddy? Let's see how he moves out. Well, he moves out. So you'll notice that nearly every training session that we do involves starting out with some of the same things. I'll move his feet, several different gaits, and forward, backward, left, and right before we start doing anything else. You'll also notice that he is far more unsure of things when I'm on his right side and in his right eye than when I'm on his left side. So I usually spend about 3 times as much time on his right side to get the same thing out of him as I can get on his left side, sometimes the first or second try. And especially after he squirts out like that, you'll notice I kind of have a couple of these clips like this one sped up. So no, I'm not waving frantically. I have the speed turned up just to kind of not have some of this stuff drag. It's kind of trying to split the balance between showing you that some things take a lot of time, even though probably I would estimate that if I show you a minute of something, I did it for 20 to 30 minutes minimum. And I'm just showing you pieces of what we're doing, but enough of it to try and, I don't want it to look like. Still wants to squirt out if you touch him on that back flank. I don't want it to look like things are miraculous or happen overnight or happen instantly. I want to at least give you some point of reference for that. Some things just take time and he has to work through some things. So you see, he's anxious, he's nervous, doesn't like me in that right eye, doesn't like me on the right side near as much. I'm just trying to pet him and let him know it's okay when I'm on that side. I try to spend a lot of just like minutes of letting him think about things and calm down in between. He's fidgety, he's nervous, and for a little while he gets worse before he starts getting better. So in that instance, all I was trying to do is just get up with him holding still and get down before we had a chance to have him blow out, to just try to show him, you know, and then each time ask for more. But I need to establish that just because I go up, nothing bad's going to happen. If I go up there and just stay there, his anxiety level keeps increasing if I don't give him that little break. But you'll watch here from the other side. I can do a lot more from that left side and almost never get a reaction out of him. All the reaction seems to come from the right side. I actually really like Honey being in there, kind of providing a distraction, and just I want him to be used to things kind of going on and being around and not being scary. But the funny thing is, Honey is very aware when I'm doing something that might be potentially dangerous. She gets anxious like that. She kind of knew that was coming. She gets anxious and she gets in there and wants to try and help me. She won't come in that pen when I'm just goofing off or doing stuff, but if the more anxious the horse gets, the more she senses it. And right here, I've been very patient with him and let him just get away with a few things. I'm going to establish to him, no, okay, obviously we haven't been making this hard enough on you when you decide to do the wrong choice. So I'm going to just spend about a minute here saying, you're welcome to move. You can move anytime you want. But if you move when I didn't ask you to, it's going to be more than you wanted to and probably not going to be worth it. And then we just basically go back like nothing was wrong, nothing happened, and move ahead. I actually do a lot of that right there that you just saw me moving the stirrup back and forth. I want him to get desensitized to just extra movement back there and that stirrup moving around, maybe even catching in his eye. And I don't think I got any on video here, but I have spent time tapping him on the side and teaching him that means go forward, and then tapping him a little bit further back on the side and teaching him that means to yield his hindquarters. And that is going to be my safety valve. I need to be able to, when I get up in the saddle, turn his head to the right or the left and then disengage his hindquarters. It's really hard for him to do a whole lot of mischief or run or buck if his front end and his back end are disengaged. And so that's what this is right here. I'm just showing him, that I need you to be flexible enough that I can disengage your front end and your back end. And he's getting more and more to where when I get up in the saddle and I ask him to disengage, he knows what I'm asking and he can do that, and he can keep us both safe. That's really good right there. So you see he's licking and chewing. He kind of meets me in the middle, comes up to me for a little bit of comfort. I like that he still sees me as a comfortable place to be. See, he's kind of crowding in. He's saying, I was a little bit worried about there. I like you better out in front of me where I can see you. Again, that right side, but not quite as bad of a squirt out. You see that he just kind of went forward and then stopped and spun toward me. So in this case, I'm just going to disengage his front and hind end, make him go around a couple times, and then I'm going to go right back to getting my foot in that stirrup. When he's moving, I'm kind of tugging on the saddle. I'm bouncing up and down. I'm just making this has got to be miserable for both of us. And the best way to get you to stop doing that is just hold still, and then you're going to get peace. You got to take the time that it takes. I'll tell you one of my 3 pet peeves about horses, and this is leaving out, obviously nobody wants a horse that bucks or bolts or spooks, leaving those things out. But what you find in a lot of horses, 3 things that I don't like: a horse that won't load, a horse that won't allow you to catch him, and a horse that takes off before you're set in the saddle, before you say let's go. And so the reason why I'm taking the time right now to make sure that he knows, if I ask you to hold still while I'm getting in the saddle, I want you to hold still. I could just jump in that stirrup and swing my leg over and get it and hope for the best, but I don't want him doing that later. And so I would rather take the time it takes now to be solid on both sides. When I'm getting up on you, I need you to hold still. And the best way for you to get peace and for it to go good for you is just hold still. It doesn't hurt. It's not going to be that big of a deal for me to get up in your saddle. So I'm taking the time right now, days and days of this, so that when I get ready to ride him, I can walk up to him, I can get my reins ready, I can get that first foot in the stirrup, I can swing over, I can get my second foot in the stirrup, I can get myself gathered, maybe flex him right or left, and then, only when I say, then we leave. And if I do it now, it's a lot easier than trying to do it after a horse develops that habit of just taking off as you swing your leg over. And that one was really good. He was very patient, so I'm just giving him a break. I'm going clear out in front of him and leaving him alone, just letting him know that was the good thing to do. And so here's a break. No pressure on you. You made the right choice, so here's some peace. That was very good. On his right side, he did very good. So this is the first time since that first week when we had the wreck that I just swing up into the saddle. I'm in the saddle. I have both feet in the stirrups. I'm ready. But I'm not going to ask anything of him today. I just want him to know that if I'm up there, it's okay. So my intention was just to get up in the saddle, give him a minute, get out, so he doesn't think that this is going to last forever, then get up in the saddle again. That's all I'm going to ask from him today, because it's a hard thing for him to do. I don't want to ask for too much and ruin and go backwards because I asked for more than he was able to give me that day. Hey, Lambo. So here's a new thing. Lambo's never been willing to take something out of my hand and eat it. Usually you got to set it down. You got to set it down before he'll trust you enough to take it. But I think the other day I had an apple there, and look at this. He wouldn't touch it till I put it in his bowl. Then he went and got it. But he knows what I've got here. Yeah. I'm gonna make you earn that. Smell that, huh? He's decided he likes apples. Now you'll notice that I'm working him just in a halter with a set of reins clipped to it. I see no need to add a bit or anything at this point. He's used to the bit, but it's not going to give me any better. All I really need from him is to be able to disengage his neck, and I don't need a bit to do that. Good boy. Let's put that one with you. Now, I've never done reward type training with a horse. Positive reinforcement. But I do want him to learn how to trust me enough to eat out of my hand. It's just another step. So maybe we'll use it to see if we can't get him to tolerate me being in the saddle a little bit better with that reward kind of in between. So this training session is exactly a week later. Because of the schedule I'm working right now, I'm not getting off work till about 10 o'clock at night, and our temperatures have been in the 20s at the high, and so it's not the best circumstances to be working them. You see the ground in that arena is slippery, and I was hoping that we'd get enough weather to kind of melt some of that snow, and it just didn't happen. So I let him have most of the week off. I mean, I did work with him some, and even when it was just almost every day, I at least approach him in I'm going to catch you type of scenario, so that he just gets used to the fact that not every time I come out to see him is he going to have to go work or do something bad. So it's not really hard to catch him, because most of the time when I come up and quote catch him, I'm just petting him on him and then walking away. But again, I'm just going through some of the things to see, where his mind's at. We've kind of backtracked a little bit during the week because it's been a week. I got to remind him, especially you'll see here on the left-hand side, it's the ground's slippery. I have to keep kicking the snow out of the stirrups. I want to be able to get out the stirrup if I need to, but I don't want him to fall out. That was just him basically resituating his weight. Trying not to cut him in half. See, on this day, if I remember right, he never shoots out. Today, this is a week after the last one where you just saw me get up in the saddle. This is 1 week later. He doesn't shoot back out, I don't think, at all today. But he's still telling me he's nervous by just simply moving his feet. And I don't mind him moving his feet. I think he's being, I've said this before, but I think he's being more honest when his feet are moving and telling me I'm not comfortable than when he braces and holds still and then bolts. I would rather have him say that I'm feeling uncomfortable before the bolt. And so I don't really hate the fact that he's moving his feet a lot today, because he doesn't bolt. He just says, hey, I'm not comfortable yet. And I say, okay, that's okay to be uncomfortable, but it means you have to move. You're going to have to keep moving your feet till you decide to be comfortable. And then he makes that choice. But he's still solid from that left side. You see, he's just taking it like a champ. I'm just going to keep pestering him there. You can walk, but I'm shaking the saddle. I'm kind of bouncing on that stirrup. As soon as he gives me the stop and stops moving, then I get down and give him peace. This is just more letting him have time to have peace, calm down, relax, establish that, this is good, this is calm, this is fun, not going to hurt you. And then we go back. I'm getting ready here. I had thought about just swinging over on him, but I decided to give him one more. What keeps going through my head is this ground out here is frozen rock solid. I don't want to come out of the saddle and hit that frozen ground, but I just had to finally block that out of my head. But here we go. Time has come to see how he's going to react. This time, I'm going to do more than just get a foot in the stirrup and sit there. I am going to do that. I kind of missed the stirrup there for a second. Not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous up there. He knows it, but he's doing good. His ears are back because he's paying attention to me. I ask him to yield his head here, and he's not quite sure if he's willing to. So I just wait him out. I've got his head enough around that he's not inclined to bolt or do anything much, because he won't have a whole lot of ability to do much with his head that far around. But here he finally gives it up to me, and then I give him just a little bit of tap with the left heel and bring that quarter around, which is that's all I wanted him to do. I just want you to move your feet. There you go again. I want him to disengage that hind end, yield his front end, and disengage his hind end. That's all I'm asking him to do this time. I want that from the left, and then I want it from the right. I know he's going to give it to me for the left. I also know that the right's going to be harder for him, because it has been with everything. So I'm going to ask for the left one more time here. Very good. He's figuring it out from when I was on the ground, showing him just, hey, me tapping with the stirrup means I want your feet to move. I've got his head far enough around. Now here we are on the right hand side. He's not wanting to yield that to me. So I'm not asking him yet to move his head. I'm asking you, give me your I'm not asking him to move his feet. I'm asking you, give me your head. And he gives it right about here. He kind of gives me, there you go. And he almost went right there. So I let the pressure off. You had the right answer. Now I'm asking for a little bit more. I want more than just a lean. This time I'm going to ask you until you move your feet. There we go. And then he gave a little bit more than I was asking, but he did the right thing. He gave me the right answer. I've got him to the right. I've got him to the left. He's stayed calm. And that's all I'm asking for him today. The next time it'll be steps forward, walk and trot, but I'm not going to push him further than this, because I want this to be a win. And look, he immediately goes to licking and chewing. He's calm. He's comfortable. It's been awesome. We both take a deep breath. Thanks for watching.